And we're live. Chris Lumberjack. And yeah, that's definitely you. Sweet. All right, we are now officially live. Good morning, everybody. We are here. It is cold. Wild snow in Tennessee again. So I'm going to do my usual thing where I introduce what. Oh, hey, look, there's Walter. He was right on time. Oh, Walter, you got close. I was going to make you sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, too, for the Hawaiian shirt.
That's actually why I was going to be late, because I wanted to rock out some tunage today, and I thought to myself, well, that would set the wrong example. I should probably just show up on time.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, I'm editing your name. Just adding in, not taking away Hawaiian shirt guy, just like Chris's Lumberjack. All right. Anyway, so we'll do. Oh, I have too many characters for Walter.
It's how I roll. Just so many characters.
As many characters as he
There's
wants.
just so much character. People can't keep up, even on a live stream.
What's the short for director? What's that? What's the short?
Don't give me one of those fancy titles now. Just the Hawaiian shirt guy will get it done just fine. That covers anything that we need.
Too late. Okay.
Director of Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
If you want to fit the word director in, director of Hawaiian shirts.
All right. Let's. DIR. Thank you. It still shows Facebook user. That's weird. It normally shows me who the people are.
I'm actually going to step away for 10 seconds and grab my cup of coffee. I'll be right back.
That's okay. I'm going to do my usual. Good morning, everybody tuning in. There's already 3 whole people. I mean, I'm assuming they're whole people. And welcome to the first week recap of the Mega Team Challenge. Oh, one person left, so maybe they weren't whole. Yeah. But welcome to the Mega Team Challenge. The Mega Team Challenge is where we are aiming to build a Mega Team in 1 year. And what that means for us is 10 capped agents, 40 million in volume, and 175 clients served. And we're building this from scratch. I always like to emphasize that because we have people where we could turn around and borrow them and kind of cheat our way into Mega Team, or all of us, if we really wanted to, could pitch in together and just do it ourselves. But the goal is that we actually create a blueprint to help others and build up agents individually. So let me do a quick leadership introduction. So obviously, I don't think I even introduced myself last time, guys. So I'm going to try and remember to do that. So it's me. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm the co-team leader on our home team. I'm also the helps everyone with everything guy. Then we have Chris Rains, co-team leader and director of production and designated lumberjack. We have Catherine Polsonelli, who is the director of operations. We have Walter Key, who is the director of coaching, time management, but more importantly, Hawaiian shirts. Then we have Christian, who will not be here for everybody. He was really good, guys. He actually recorded a video of the updates because he knew he wouldn't be here and sent it to me so that I'll be able to update us. But his wife recently gave birth, and so he's trying to just help her survive. But he is the director of marketing. And then we have Carly Lane. Carly, I don't know if I told you, I gave you the fancy title, director of outreach. You like that?
I love it. It sounds so fancy.
So fancy. And so, yeah, this is the leadership team for the Mega Team Challenge. So with that being said, guys, do me a favor and type real quick in the chat one thing you are grateful for this week. And I'll do my own while you guys are typing in the chat real quick. So for me, I'm super grateful. Again, that snow happened. My daughter was hilarious last night, and like she would just face plant into the snow. Like she loved it. And I was like, girl, I hope there's not like a rock under one of those because you're going to regret that decision. But she would just keep falling and falling into the snow, falling, quotation
No
mark.
fear.
And she had a blast. I know Catherine was hunting down her teenagers. I mean, playing with them.
I may have tackled them once or twice. Just saying.
Yeah. All right. Walter, the answer is no. Well, I did. I should say I did because I'm amazing. No. But this is all right. Did anybody actually type what they're grateful for this week yet? Are we still working on it?
Still working.
Cool. Okay, I like it. Catherine says, grateful to be able to work from home and on my own schedule and playing in the snow with my teenager. Honestly, I feel like this week, that's what a lot of us are really grateful for, is that reminder that we get to make the decision of whether it's work or not work or a break from work, and we can go spend that time where we want to. I think that's really awesome, and that's a great gratitude, Catherine. Walter, grateful for going under contract on his first listing in Florida in 48 hours. That's what we're talking about, man. And for those who don't know, Walter, are you even living there full time yet?
I am.
Now.
So living is relative. I'm staying with my sister. My house
Okay.
is being still remodeled, so I'm wrangling a remodel while I do business.
See,
A lot of
Walter
fun.
is in Virginia, moving to Florida, and picked up a listing before he was even living there in Florida, because that's how we do it, guys. And then he's thankful also for his sister's house going under contract. Awesome. Chris has got a big one. I like it. Carly says, I'm grateful that it's Friday. Just trying to enjoy the weekends, at least Sundays, after a more productive week. Hey, I like hearing that it was a productive week, Carly. You worked your butt off this week, and just props to you. Thanks for all you've done. And Chris, 2 of our new agents' success. One has a buyer under contract and a listing this week. Woo, woo. That's what I'm talking about. That is awesome. And another has 2 new active buyers she attained herself. One out-of-state referral and one who reached out via social media. And she's only had her license for a week, guys. So let me just tell you, that's pretty baller. Shoot, I didn't do that in my first week in real estate. Did any of us do that in our first week in real estate?
Not even close.
Yeah, what a baller.
I keep telling her,
I feel like every time we hear these kind of
Kill
things, we should have all say in unison, that's how we roll.
We're gonna have to have like a countdown. And then let's see. Chris says, I also have 6 deals under contract and 7 sides myself so far this year. Dang, Chris, it's the 7th, so you can calm down. Save some for the rest of us, brother. No, that's awesome. Super cool. For anybody listening, feel free to share your gratitude, something you're grateful for this week. I love sending gratitude and sharing it, and love sharing in what other people feel accomplished for. With that being said, let's jump into it. So what I did, guys, is I rehashed the meeting agenda from Monday. If you guys got a better way of doing this, I did actually work on the slideshows as part of one of my tasks. I just haven't filled them in yet because I don't have updates from all of you yet to fill them in, which is what we're working on. So I'm just rehashing this one for now. So basically the goals that we're just going to go over line by line, the tasks. We're going to look at it and say, did you get it done? Yes. Awesome. Did you not? Okay. Why? How do you need help? And then also realistically talk about, okay, great. Here's what we do forward to now start using that task or that accomplishment. And if we didn't, okay, here's what's going to run into the problems we're going to face now that that's not there. It's transparent. I don't think I got everything done. Actually, I know I didn't get everything done. I think I did okay, but let's just start going down that list. Does that sound good to everybody?
Works for me.
They're like, no.
No one's awake yet. I'm still trying to drink my coffee. Okay.
I understand. I understand. All right. Up first is still trying to drink my coffee, Catherine.
This is why I wrote all this down last
I'm
night,
gonna
so I
put
can be
that on a
totally
shirt.
prepared, even if half asleep. So,
All right. So templates. Let's just start going down that production report template with Chris.
yeah. So as far as templates and reports go and stuff like that, that did not get done. I
Okay.
did not get a chance to meet with anyone. I know this has kind of been a crazy week, especially with the snow and everything as well. But the onboarding checklist, we kind of have a base on. I'm actually working on just creating some simplified bullet points and
Cool.
creating a question list so we can kind of help them onboard the right direction. So
Yeah. Okay, cool. So one on the onboarding, I just want to say I have been able to get access to like a bunch of other big teams or downlines and their onboarding checklists, and ours
Mhm.
is probably the most comprehensive one I've seen so far, which I was actually really surprised about. So I just want to say we're on the right track. We're doing something
Awesome.
cool. As far as the reports, so let's be honest, okay, what that means for all of us. So honestly, we'll just cover this for everybody because I don't think any of us got our reports done. That means that this week we don't really have a good idea in metrics what happened. That's okay. I think because our first week we're all trying to figure out um, how the tasks work. I know Chris was gone last week. Um, and so he's trying to catch up. And again, we're just all kind of trying to figure it out. So my encouragement and adding it is, I would say over the weekend, let's get this actually on the calendar. Catherine, I know you are good at not pulling your punches. So I say you go to everybody, punch them in the face with your calendar and say, we're going to get this report done. And we just get it done. And if we need to start with me, Catherine, and you and I create a template together that we basically bring to everybody else, I'm okay with that. I'll be the guinea pig to help move this forward. How's that sound for that?
Sounds like a plan to me.
I'll
Awesome.
chop you down a tree and bring you some paper, but about as much as we're gonna do on that side. I'll fill something out, but you don't want me making reports.
So onboarding, how about that, Catherine? I mean, going down that list, getting people integrated into the CRM, dot loop, team email, and forwarding personal email. Let's just start going down that.
Yeah, sure. So, as far as the main team that we've got together already, CRM obviously is already taking care of. Everyone is active. Dot Loop is taking care of. They've all gotten emails on how to set that up if they do have any questions, which it looks like most of our agents have used Dot Loop before, except for I think like one that hasn't been in it too much. But I've already touched base with them. Team emails and how to forward it has already been taken care of as well. We do not have email signatures just yet. So once we get that, then I can help anyone that needs as far as getting that implemented into the team emails that they've got. I know everyone's got their Slack accounts set up because that's just a simple, accept the invite. Google Drive team setup has not been something that I've looked at yet because I know we don't really have anything labeled that we can put into the Drive. So that one
I have stuff we can do for that. I'm just trying to figure out the easiest way to migrate it over.
Mhm.
So you and I can connect with that. I do have like even just meeting recaps and stuff like that and a couple other resources, but
Okay.
I would say on this list is probably the least priority.
That's kind of what I figured. So, the Carbon Club, I know that you actually take care of that because I don't have access to that, but I know everybody has been on, from my
Right.
understanding.
It'll just be part of our onboarding when we really hash that
Mhm.
out.
So, and then everybody has already gotten their invites for the Google Calendar and everything. The only thing you and I need to touch base on is going to be once we figure out what certain submission forms and stuff that we want to use for them, so I can figure out how to set little reminders that can go across to all the agents so that they can be
Awesome.
efficient during the week. So once I figure that out, then we can label out on that one. So
Great. Carly, can you please, let's make this easier on me. Can you please highlight things and then highlight them and put red if it's not done and then green if it is? And then that'll make it easier for me to come back here and kind of know what I'm looking at too. You are awesome. Thank you. All right, so Christian's not here, but I do have updates for everybody from Christian because he was super awesome and made a video. So email signatures for agents, that is not done. And what we're working on is just we have some templates, so we're just kind of working on the templates. I will be working on those with everybody. Walter, you want me to? Oh, is it super small? Is it? How do I zoom in on this? Isn't there a zoom thing?
There's a thing that says 100% right there
Or
on the top
Top
bar.
right.
top right?
I was gonna say
Right.
go to the left. Actually, there's a drop down. There you go. There's
Oh, hey,
100%.
look, guys! Did you know this existed?
Boom. That's what now we're
Hey.
cooking with Crisco.
Your lumberjack came in handy because he can read numbers.
Look at that. New tech feed.
You techie. Charlie, save that one as a funny
Yeah.
clip. Okay, back to email signatures. So I feel pretty confident we'll have that done. But
I'm pretty sure they taught this program in middle school, so that's probably the only reason I know how to use it because it's been
Probably.
around so long. It's not new.
Oh, Christian was able to at least comment. Oh, what's up, Christian? I know you're taking care of kids and giving your wife a break, which she definitely needs with all that she does. Okay, so we're going to work on the email signatures. I feel pretty confident Christian and I will be able to knock those out. The training video, training the video editor for extracting content. I believe that meeting took place and the training happened. Again, once we have our reports that we create individually, we'll turn them into a form that we can just fill out, and then we'll be able to really track this stuff a lot more efficiently. So we're just kind of doing it haphazard today. Mega Team newsletter, honestly, that's not a top priority, so it's kind of sitting in the back right now. We did create the daily productivity tracker and submission form, and Christian and I have been going back and forth all week, and I think we should probably just finish it up today and have that ready. And honestly, we could use that as a temporary form as we figure out the rest of them. Let's see. Wow, why is my mouse? Weekly team checkup form. Yep, that one as well. We've been going back and forth, so that should be probably finished up today. And obviously, Catherine, we talked about none of the reports were completed, but we're gonna get that on the calendar and get those done. So I'll follow up with Christian if he needs anything, but let's just move on to Chris with production. So how is number one making sure agents are putting leads into the CRM daily?
Not great on my end.
Okay. All right. So
be very, very real on this call.
We have to.
I still need to watch some kind of video, hopefully this weekend, on how to use Chime. So for those of you watching,
okay,
everyone needs to know this. I was a top producing agent with a whiteboard and a Google Calendar. Basically, I used no CRM. I did everything manually. I still sold like 45 homes last year without a CRM. It is doable, but it's also miserable. So I have to learn, and that's why they give me a hard time and just say I'm a lumberjack, because I'm not techie and I don't use all that stuff. I'm just real with people and sell a lot of homes that way. But in order to lead, I've got to learn how to use a CRM and get all of that stuff going. But since I was out of town last week, that didn't help. And I've got to learn and watch some videos this weekend. So
awesome.
That's my goal there.
So Catherine, would you be willing to send a message over to Chime and see if they've got some just pre-recorded ones that Chris could watch in his own time, and then for anything that's not covered, if we can get a meeting or something together?
I can definitely check on it. And I know that at the top of Chime too, Chris, I think it's the question mark on the right-hand side. It's literally like you can search in what you're wanting to do, and there's little pop-up videos for it too. So
perfect.
Awesome. So let's talk about real quick. So the importance of that is that one, we can help agents keep up with their business. And that's really important because when we're sending these leads out to the team and helping them grow their business, the more that they can put notes in the status, the more that we can step in and support them, and also not have to micromanage. Nobody likes to be micromanaged. And so if we can just go in and say, oh, okay, they're making notes, they're working on them, great, I'm not going to text them or call them and be overbearing. So I think that'll be a really important one. So definitely let us know what you need, Chris. Catherine's already going to get on things on her side. We'll do anything we can to support you in that. And like I said, we should be able to roll out the productivity daily one every day. Speaking of which, the productivity tracker, I'm going to change the name. It sounds so mechanical and like overbearing, and that's really not what it's for. It's really for them. But you know, like, wouldn't you guys agree? It kind of comes across as just like micro, like machine type of attitude. So it's really like, I don't have a fancy name for it, but I'm probably gonna put something in there like your goals, your day, like something like that, like just something more simple. If you guys got good names, let me know. Growth of Facebook groups. So I think we're going to want to start tracking this, Chris, and looking at what our growth looks like, so that we kind of start to know what type of lead flow we can count on paper. We know what's coming in and out.
So the nice thing is it's done for us already. Facebook has all those metrics.
Right. I just meant, do you have I know we don't have a report yet, but like for growth of specifically the Facebook groups, not just overall leads.
No,
but
that's what I'm saying. It'll show you everything. It actually has all those metrics on there.
So
You
I
can
think
pull it up.
since that's our main lead gen source, let's have that be part of Chris's specific report. Is a Facebook groups growth section where he can just take the metrics and basic ones and have them in there. That way the whole team knows and we're all on the same page. Because that's also the point of the reports for each individual, is that we can all share with each other and know where we're at and support each other. Success tracker, Walter, that's so good. Let's change the productivity tracker to success tracker. That's fantastic. That's so much better. Look at you, Walter. All right, so obviously, Chris, I'll answer for you on this one. Making sure agents are submitting their daily productivity report. You don't have that, aka the success tracker. So I'm going to assume that's not done because I wouldn't know how you would do it.
I wouldn't know how to do it either.
Yeah.
So,
but it is pretty awesome, guys, what's happening. And if I recall right, Christian made it to where it will create, after they fill it out, it will create a Google file folder for them and have it in there too. So pretty cool stuff. And so that will go into the team drive, and then we'll make it to where Catherine, only they can review their own individual success trackers. Everybody will be able to see the folders for each of them, but only the leadership team and that agent it's assigned to will be able to see it, so we can work on that. We haven't, Chris, you and I haven't had a chance to really talk about when to have transactional requirements for agents. I think we said on Monday, that's something that's probably just going to come up organically, is we're going to start to really understand the true costs. We all can budget all day long, which Chris and I have worked very hard to have budgets, but we all know not until you actually start spending and making money do you really know what your net is, and therefore what you need to have in basically contribution to make sure that there is that net. So I'm going to leave that one to a later date. Chris, would you agree?
Yeah.
It's gonna come up, and it will be a need. And so obviously Catherine's going to get with you and work on that report.
Sounds good.
And then you and I, Chris, have a meeting today to work on our team core values missions together. So I feel confident that in that time block, I think it's an hour, I think you and I can get a lot of that done, because you and I have been talking about this stuff for a while. So I think now we're just going to literally just word it.
Success report tracker.
Yeah. Cool. Chris, so anything not finished, I would say make sure you get it on your calendar. I know that's something you've been doing an amazing job. And I really do mean this respectfully. I'm not actually teasing you. I did not use a calendar for so long. I didn't listen to most of the people who told me to use a calendar for so long. And then like at some point I just did, and my life has changed. So I really do mean this, Chris. I know this is a change for you, and I really respect you that you're adapting. So I would say throw in everything that you need to, put it on the calendar.
I mean, I've been good about using the calendar. If I don't, it doesn't happen. So
awesome.
Yeah,
So let's make sure we just time block to get these things done. I know Christian's not here, but Christian, yeah, like Catherine, we already talked about it, getting these things on the list with each individual. So Carly's highlighting this stuff for you guys so that you can just go back, look at the red and say, okay, I need that on my calendar. And again, if you guys have more efficient ways for us to do this for you, let us know. I want this to be easy for you as well. With that being said, let's move on to Walter. So Walter, well, the first Monday, as far as we know, they did the time blocking and scheduling.
Yeah, so obviously we got a little taste of it on Monday when we did our first meeting. I have had, I'd have to look at the calendar specifically, but I think 4 to 6, I'm almost positive it's 5 agents that have booked that 30 minutes with me, and we've actually sat down and got them specifically set up for the strategies they want to employ, walk them through the way to budget the priority levels of activities. So at least 4 or 5 have got exactly what they need individually for them to start their time blocking on a weekly basis. I know one had scheduled with me and they weren't able to make it. And so I'm going to reach back out to them today and see, hey, we missed it. Do you want to reschedule? Here's the calendar again. Let's get you back on there. Because there is, obviously, we only touched on so much on Monday. What I'm doing on these short 30-minute sessions is talking to them specifically about what they think they're going to do in order to actively prospect, in order to grow their business. And that is a very individual thing.
Absolutely.
And then I want to make sure that they understand it's okay to prioritize their life over their business. And so we talk a little bit about why those priority levels matter for them, right? So they can understand where they need to plug in their life stuff. So we're working through it. We, like I said, 4 or 5 so far. Obviously we probably have a couple more that need to hop on with me and do that, but I'll ping them through Slack and just see.
Honestly, all of us can do it. So that's like 11 or 12 of us, I think. Even if we're not selling real estate.
Obviously, the folks on this call haven't done it, but I'm assuming that you've done my training and you probably have a pretty good head on your shoulders because you're not new. But if you guys want to do it, obviously jump on with me too. But you probably don't need it as much as a newer agent needs it.
I think all of us probably still do need it. So I would encourage everybody just to lead by example, at least, and know what these calls are like with Walter, so we're all on the same page. We know what's happening. We know what he's discussing. So I would say let's all make sure we still do it regardless. Even if we feel we have a good plan, all right, fine. Let's still at least go through it with you, Walter, so we know what we're telling them to do. We're living out and leading by example.
Yeah.
Does that sound fair to everybody?
For transparency, just so we're all on the same page, my goal, and I'm assuming it's everyone else's goal, is not to have the agent get with me every single week to plan out their week. No. One time, 30 minutes, I'll set you up on the right path, and then you just replicate that every week. So you can build your own annual goals, quarterly goals, breaking down those monthly milestones into your daily activities. You don't need to get with me constantly, because once you learn the process, just replicate the process. And I've told everyone on the call that in the monthly milestone, right, when they look and say, did I hit my mark or did I not? If you feel like there's something missing and you need to fine tune it, absolutely reach out to me. We'll get on another call and we'll fine tune it, but only if you need to at that point.
Yeah, I think what would be great, Walter, and I'm fine with being the example and guinea pig, is if you and I use me to actually create an annual, 6 months, quarterly, and have an example to show. A real one with real goals, real consequences, real whatever. And then we have that example to where they can go and look at it and say, okay, this is what he did. I'm going to kind of mimic the structure that he has. So when we meet today, Walter, because we have a meeting, let's just work on creating me as the template that they can kind of plug into. And then we'll literally create a template. We can do that, create a template spreadsheet or something, because I do think having the vision in front of them each and every day is really important. And with that being said, I'd love to, and Walter, you know, tell me if this works for you, but I'd love to have you involved in the mornings when I says 7 a.m., but it's actually, we changed it to basically what we say, like Chris, 5 minutes before they.
You said 8:05.
8:05, 8:05, something like that. So what I've been doing, guys, and
you get on that.
Yeah, what I've been doing, guys, is every morning I'm actually going in and looking at their calendars and finding areas where I can actually help them. Walter, if you're willing, I'd love to have you in on that as well. What's cool about the way that we do it through Slack is they post a screenshot of their Google Calendar, and then you can hit reply in thread so it doesn't muddle up the rest of the chat. And we can go in and honestly just ask questions, give them notes, suggestions, and support for their day. And there's some really cool things that have come out of this. I'll use, you know, for those of you who follow me on social media, you probably saw the one I made about one of the agents, but he did not realize how much time he was spending driving. And he's like, wow, I wasn't putting on my calendar. And on top of that, I wasn't looking at it each day. Oh, you put it on your calendar and then your day goes by and you don't actually know what you did that day. You put it on the calendar, but you don't have the vision and the structure in front of you. So you're still not paying attention. And it's an improvement to put on your calendar, but you actually need to honor and respect your calendar. And he said, once he started looking at it every single morning, he started to realize how much time was being wasted doing little tasks, driving an hour and a half to drop off a check. Are you kidding me? Absolutely not. We have to think of it. And what's great is that I caught that. And then he turned around and was able to then self-examine. So Walter, if you're willing, and again, you know, you have a unique situation, Walter, because you're in Florida, so you're not here. Right. And so if you're willing, I'd love to have you jump on with me where we just look at the calendars and we look at, okay, especially since I don't want to conflict what you're teaching them. So you and I really do need to be on the same page when it comes to the time management. But when I see something like a block and it says lead gen, I always question them. What lead gen though? Do you actually know what you're doing? Do you actually have a plan? Lead gen is not, in my opinion, lead gen is not just responding to people you're already talking to. Lead gen is creating new conversations and new connections, in my opinion.
So I'll jump in here. So I'm watching the calendars too. I haven't commented on any of them yet, but I'm kind of doing the same thing. Those that have already talked to me, actually, you hit on two things that I'm very specific to mention in the 30 minutes. Is one is use technology to leverage your time back. And so I mentioned driving specifically, right? If you have to go if you're doing 4 buyer consultations this week and they're 24 minutes a piece, drive time back and forth, if you can get those people on a Zoom call to have the exact same conversation, you just bought yourself 3.5 hours back in your day because you didn't have to drive to all those appointments.
Right.
So absolutely, the drive time's a big one because it's an easy, especially with technology today, it's a super easy way to buy your time back, to put it into other business building activities. And then the other thing is when we talk about active prospecting, which is when you say lead gen, I immediately said, I think active prospecting.
Right.
I'm breaking it down for them. Tell me exactly what you intend to do. Do you plan to make calls to FSBOs? Do you plan to do Facebook marketing, Facebook group prospecting, calling landlords? Like, what is it that you actually are going to do? That is your lead gen. That's your active prospecting. And then I also tell them to book at least a couple times, you know, spread out throughout the day, a dedicated time block for follow-up, which is what you're talking about of, hey, I've got clients I'm already working with. Let me ping them, see what's going on. Let me update them for 5 minutes on a transaction. Let me see if they need anything. That way, there's always some point of time in your day that you are just dedicated to proper communication of your clients.
That's right.
And
I
it doesn't get missed because you got so busy doing lead gen and everything else that you end your day and realize, oh crap, I got 64 emails I haven't responded to all day, and it's 8 o'clock now.
Been there, done that.
Right.
So I think what would be good for us, Walter, is maybe you and I book another time where we could use the team calendar, do a sample day.
You're reading my mind. I was just going to say, I'll do a calendar template.
Yeah, let's do that. And then let's do the do's and don'ts. Like, here's a calendar that is time blocked, but it's vague and it's not specific, and it doesn't have an actionable number.
Yep.
It's not, I'm just going to make calls. Make calls to who, how long, and how many.
Exactly.
Roughly, how many? What's your goal? Now, remember, quality over quantity. We all need to emphasize that, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to pitch in with that and share. So are you in agreement too that you're willing to check the calendars with me daily?
Absolutely. I'll start engaging them a little bit more when I see the ones that might be a little vague, and we'll fine tune them up with the understanding too that when we build out this calendar template, it's kind of like a script. And when I tell people about scripts, right, scripts are frameworks. You have to make it your own, but you also need to keep the script framework in place. It's like writing a book report. If I tell you in middle school English, if the teacher says, write a book report on this book, 90% of the outlines will be exactly the same, but all of the book reports will be different, right? That's the idea of the framework, right? You have to make it your own, but there is certainly a proper way to build it out.
So let's
talk about that.
Yeah, let's definitely create a template for that, like an example.
I am going to put that on my calendar right now in what little bit of open space I have to build out a template today.
Yeah, and I would love to be a part of that in any way. If you want to have a shared document, we can create another document too where we just make notes. We have examples, references, short Loom videos where we explain calendars, and just kind of have like this kind of a tutorial of calendars that we build up together. I think that could be a really great resource. And I think it'd be great too, because then let's say you're sick or I'm sick or we just don't have time, and someone's meeting with Chris and is like, Chris, how do I do this time blocking? And maybe Walter, you're not available yet. Maybe I'm not available right away. Chris can turn on and say, here you go. Here's your resource. Catherine, we can make that as part of the onboarding. Hey, we already said that Google Calendar really is something they need to have set up. So now we can turn around and say, okay, as you're getting your Google Calendar set up, you're going to want to add in your Zoom plugin, right? And here's also how you schedule on a Google Calendar. And so I think these things could be really useful and save us some time once we build them out to where we can all leverage them for success. And what's cool is that we all have organizations and people that we coach and train that aren't necessarily right on the team. We can leverage this for them too and help their productivity. So I think that'll be a really awesome thing. So Walter, you and I are working on individual agent goals. We are meeting. Basically everything we talked about, you and I are going to cover some of that in our meeting today. So it's not done, but it's because it's planned for today.
It's moving in the right direction.
Reaching out to agents directed to gather coaching needs. So I think this would be cool if we do it like maybe once a week, maybe even part of the weekly recap. Like,
here's what I was mulling this over, because I'm trying to think to myself, like, man, do I want to just be pinging every individual agent while they've got their busy schedule going and they're trying to work? Here's what I'm thinking I might do, and you tell me if I'm way off base here. Let's create another room in Slack, and let's call it coaching needs. Let's call it improvement requests, right? Well, let's find a name for it. But that way, if I haven't reached out to that agent yet to say, is there something you need? But they think of what they need, right? They bump into a situation where they're like, man, I could use some assistance on that. They can drop that directly into the Slack and be like, hey, what about this? And that way we know what they need before we even ask. And we can work. And that might keep that process flowing in a more organic way. And it won't feel like we're constantly on top of them saying, what do you need from me? What do you need from me?
Yeah, which we know is distracting. And,
right. Because the last thing we want to do is
they might not be thinking about it.
Pinging them so much that they're not out there doing what we've told them to put on their calendar. right?
So I think what we could also include, guys, is on both of the success tracker and the weekly success tracker, daily success. Oh my gosh. On those two trackers, I think we could add in a slot that says, what do you need coaching on? And then on a daily basis, if we have time, we pitch in. Maybe it's connected into a video we've already done.
Maybe I make a new video and I post that in the Slack
That's
room as the response.
And then on the weekly basis, it'll let us plan out, especially if it's a need that wasn't able to get addressed that week. Maybe we missed it. We're all human. We're going to miss stuff. But that's the point of these trackers, is that the team can hold us accountable just as much as we can hold them accountable. And so I think if we add those in to the trackers, just a simple question: what help do you need in coaching? What do you need coaching on today, next week? Things like that, I think we'll give them an opportunity. And then on top of that, we can have the Slack channel too, and just have two places, because they may not think about it during the day, or maybe they write it down in the Slack channel real quick, and at the end of the day, they go copy and paste it into their daily success tracker, right? So that's what I like about Slack, is it's almost like a live journal, and then they can use that as that to fuel. Obviously, we know Catherine and Walter. Catherine's going to go punch everybody in the face with the scheduler so that we can get these reports done, because I do think it'll make these meetings faster and more efficient when we can literally say, hey, these agents are meeting me for coaching. These agents are meeting. Oh, look at that. Christian jumped in. And we can say, this is what's happening. This is good. This is bad. I need help. And I think we'll be much more efficient and effective in supporting one another when we have these. Would everybody agree? Once we have those reports, should probably, I'm just going to assume everybody agrees. I guess now me, going through me real quick. So team contract explainer video signed. I am still working on this. To be honest, it's a learning process of writing it. I had an old contract to go off of, but there was just a lot of little things to learn. Also, some of this time that was supposed to be spent on team contract was actually spent talking to EXP about co-team leaders and structures, and trying to figure out the best way to structure this for co-team leaders. So, because that will play a part in how the team contract is established, how it's worded even. And so I am working on that. I have another meeting today with the team integrations specialist for Tennessee. So I hope to get those answers. Once I have those answers, I believe that I'll be able to knock out team contract stuff pretty quickly, because I do have the bulk of it done, but it's not worthy of being signed or explained yet. Team schedules, response times. I think I have that on my schedule today to do, which will be a spreadsheet. So that should, I'm pretty sure that's at, well, I mean, I can check right now, right? There it is, right there, that big old block. So I have that. Let's see, team or Slack channels established. So this is an ongoing one, but we definitely, I don't have the video or share screen for Slack up right now, but we absolutely have more and more coming in. Private channels for leadership and things like that, which is great. And then some open ones that people can go in and utilize. And honestly, I've seen some success. I have seen people post some wins in the wins group. I have seen people go in and, again, I kind of like a live journal is the way I look at it. Keep an agent, I want to say their names, and they probably don't care, but, someone was asking about tracking their expenses and their mileage. So I helped them with QuickBooks Self-Employed and put that in the taxes and self-employed, because they're going to need more resources about that stuff. They're going to need more suggestions. And so now on their own, they can go into Slack, they can click taxes and self-employed and see a ton of resources for them. And I think that's a little more efficient than just creating Google Docs for everything. I think Google Docs is like when it's an actual resource or a guide or a tutorial. So in other words, that is happening, and it will continue to happen, is the Slack channels and improving them. The team minimum requirements and team-based offerings. So I put these on the back burner. I do have team minimum requirements and offerings on my schedule today that I can work on. But again, my main focus was trying to work with EXP to see about Chris and I as the co-team leaders, and really just the most efficient and effective way to structure that. So that's been the main focus, but I do have those on my calendar today, so I feel confident I can get those done. So work on the micro consequences concept. We don't have enough structure to turn around and encourage them to have consequences yet. And remember, the consequences don't benefit us. Thank you, Walter. We don't have a team meeting after this, so everybody will be able to go and do their thing. Walter suggested, which was great, on Mondays, because we have so many back-to-back meetings, that we keep the Monday meeting to 45 minutes with a 15-minute break before the team meeting, so that anybody can go refill their coffee, go to the bathroom, like have a second, which was really smart, Walter. I think that was you, right, Walter? Yeah, okay. Anyway, so the micro consequences I rescheduled, I believe, for next week, with the assumption I'm going to get the other base stuff done. Team meeting structure template. This is a work in progress, but we are working on it. Team core values and missions. Chris and I have a meeting today to establish that. Individual agents. Walter, you and I have a meeting today, and then we will do an additional meeting if needed, I assume. StreamYard overlay. Obviously, guys, you can tell, made it smaller. My face is kind of blocked off, so I don't know if we want to keep it to where it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. Actually, what are you guys thinking? You think you like that? And I'll just keep it up. Then we can all see each other a little bit better, right?
Yeah, looks good.
Let's do that. All right, look at that. It's the overlay smaller, and we figured out the way we want it to format. I did figure out, guys, how to present in StreamYard with slides and with video and things like that. So once we actually have, I have the slides ready. I just don't have them filled out because we don't have trackers and reports yet. So once we have that, I will be able to do that. Anyway, let's see. Agent success stories. I met with Christian, Carly, and of course myself yesterday, and we are working on the agent success stories where we get to highlight them, where we get to celebrate them and share their success, because we all like to be appreciated. We all like to feel appreciated. So we have a plan, and that plan is in the process. Let's see. Yeah, so Catherine was saying that we just need to make sure on the actual forms, having co-team leaders, and honestly, is there anything that we need to put into SkySlope on the rep agreements, things like that? We on our team, we give them credit. Agents get to sign in their own name. So what we're trying to figure out is, still, do they need to have on the rep agreements Chris and myself, since we're co-team leaders? Can they put just R&R home team, since that's established on paper who our R&R home team is? So those will be some questions that we're going to try and get answered, Catherine. And you're welcome to join if you can. If you can't, don't worry. I don't know if it lets me invite you, but we can message offline. I also have a couple other notes to ask them. Let's see. Anything else? Wow, it's just showing Facebook users now and not their actual names. That's so weird. But hello to the person who said, "Hey, everyone." And then someone else earlier, I don't know who it was, but they were sassing Chris. They said, "Do you use paper forms for contracts too, Chris?"
Well, I have been known to do that a time or two, especially out in the sticks where internet service doesn't work too well. But I do know how to use electronic forms, and I have running toilets. So
Chris is that the guy who says, "That sounds great. Just fax that over to me."
That's Chris, hands down.
I mean, I do know how to use a fax machine as well.
So do I.
Do you young pups know how to do that too?
Rotary dial phones. We will be okay.
My grandmother still has one hanging.
Wow, that's pretty insane. So, Carly, real quick, can you make a note to, you see how the StreamYard overlay is cutting on my face and Christian's face? Let's edit the overlay a little bit. Just a note for the overlay, where we're not cutting off Christian's handsome face.
Got it.
So, what was I going to say? I just had something. Oh, something I'd love to share too, with the team and with you guys. We're talking about lead gen, and I think we all know this, but I think this will be a good thing to teach the agents on the team, our partners on the team. And I like that word partners because they really are. We're all building this together. Is the importance of doing lead gen, even if you have active clients to work. So this was something I was actually going over with some of those in the Carbon Club, which is our organization at EXP, which means they're not on our team, personal team, but they are part of our support and W Income coaching and all that. So I'm sharing this with you guys to see if you concur, because I don't want to go and preach a message that we aren't unified on. I believe that don't cut off Christian's handsome face. That's right. I believe that even if you've got active clients, you need to prospect every day. And the reason why is that, let's say you're showing houses and there is an agent in the Carbon Club. She was showing houses all day and there was no lead gen that day. And I said, that is awesome. You're crushing it. And I said, but what happens if that client doesn't buy a house? What happens if they lose their job? What happens if they decide, I'm going to wait 6 months? You just lost that day / all the time that you invested into them. And so, and again, feel free to chime in if you concur, but they need, the way they protect themselves from people changing their mind is making sure that they're always doing a little bit of prospecting. I encourage 2 hours a day, but I think at least an hour a day to protect themselves. If they fill every day with showings for one client and that one client doesn't buy a home, or even if they do, their business will suffer. They'll, in the short term, they're thinking they're prospering. Oh my gosh, I'm showing homes. I'm doing it. And this is great. I'm going on listing appointments. That's great. And it's like, you have to prospect every day to protect your business. It's not just, oh, I want to do more deals. It's, I want to protect my income, the way I provide for myself and my family. So that's a message I'd love to convey to the team, probably on Monday in the team meeting. But I wanted to bring it to you guys and see if you concur and if you agree.
Right. And if you're
100%.
showing homes all day, every day to one buyer, you're doing something wrong.
Or you could be doing something
the
better.
way I've always heard it, and it just works, and so I keep using it years later, is you have to work in your business and on your business. You have to be doing both consistently in order to not have those crazy peaks and valleys where you killed it 1 month and you have no money the next month and you're trying to figure out how you pay your bills. You have to be in your business and working on your business.
Yeah, that I completely agree, because I've learned, I think all of us who have produced at a high level, and by high level, I just mean more than a deal or two a year. I think we've all run into those situations where we invested so much time into one client, and to no fault of their own, life happens. They lost their job. They decided they're going to go remodel their home instead. They made choices to benefit their life. Well, guess what happens to us though? We just lost an income source. That's the truth. And it's not because the client did anything wrong. It's just life. And so I really want to establish these habits right away with the agents to teach them, like, you have to prospect every day, because that's how you protect yourself. It's more than just, I want to make more money and I want to sell more houses. It's no, I want to protect my family. I want to take good care of them, because their clients will do what's best for themselves. And if that means not buying a home, they're not going to buy a home, and that's okay. So Monday, I'd love to bring that up. Carly, if you could help me make a note. Again, I need to figure out how to do this more efficiently, but we'll figure it out. And yeah, Walter, we'll redesign the StreamYard overlay so that Christian is not getting cut off. I feel like I'm in like jail, and I'm like, guys, let me out.
You gotta put your hands up on the bars. Can you make it look like you're?
I was to say, now you know how I feel, because that's been me this whole time, and I just like jail. I can break out of that. I'm not worried. I'll leave when I'm ready.
Wait, does it shift? Like, does it look differently for you, Walter? Or is it?
I think it was just when we had the video the other way.
Oh,
I was
you
at the
were
bottom
okay,
left
okay.
corner, so I was in
like,
jail.
what?
Yeah.
Anyway, final thoughts. So, meetings will get more efficient, and I'm really excited. We've done some really incredible things already, guys. Honestly, I really do want you guys to know that, like, we've tackled a lot of things. We've tackled a lot of stuff we haven't brought up. Catherine, how about the dot loop and your name being populated when it wasn't supposed to, and tackling that? And it sounds silly, but guys, for everybody watching, this is the point of what we're doing, is to show you the real, less glamorous, but high reward side of building and managing a team. And we're doing just amazing things. I love the fact that we're agents on the team who are like, oh my gosh, I had no idea my schedule looked like that. Oh, I didn't think of things that way. Oh, hey, Chris, last night in an hour? Hey, I got a client to message me back, right? Yep. And they were ecstatic. We're doing things to actually improve their lives and our own, and that pumps me up. I started putting travel time into my calendar, because when I caught an agent's travel time, I was like, wait a second, how much time am I spending when I travel? And because I realized I started booking, or I had been booking all the way up to a meeting that was in person. Well, you can't do that. I'm not going to be on a Zoom while I'm driving, or I'm not going to be working on a spreadsheet while I'm driving. So I need to book that. So, like, even for me, I'm getting better. I'm improving. So I'm just grateful for all of you and everything you're doing. And I'm really excited. So let's do whatever we need to do for getting ready for over the weekend, and crushing it on Monday, and bringing it in. Message me if you guys need anything. Still some snow out there, so have some fun with that. And
I don't know what you're talking about. All I see is palm trees out here, man. I don't see no snow.
Oh, same for Walter. Yeah, but we won't talk about you guys.
Palm trees and sunshine, man. That's all I get.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Was that good? Anybody else want to? We have 2 minutes left. Anybody else want to add anything?
Everybody have a great
sorry for
weekend.
not being on your earlier, guys. Just wanted to say that, like, I shot Robert a video, and
I bragged on you, Christian. I did.
Okay. Oh, well, I got it to where, like, it's a lot of details, though. But anyways, we can shoot in the slides so you guys can see it, but it's pretty rad. And I'll be looking forward to being on these once the baby gets more sleep. That would be pretty awesome. But yeah.
Awesome. Anybody else? No? Okay. Well, awesome. Let's conclude that. Thanks for everybody who tuned in. It was awesome. We had like at 1.7 people, which I think is pretty impressive, because we're not talking about fun stuff. So hopefully everybody found value, and can't wait to see everybody on Monday. For everybody watching, every Monday and Friday, 7 a.m. Central, we go live and share with you the true painstaking, honest, realistic side of, I haven't had my coffee yet, but I still got to do work. Or, hey, I'm late because my wife just had a baby. Like the reality of running a team and living life and building careers and working together. So we hope you find value, and we can't wait to see you on Monday. So with that being said, thanks everybody. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.